Well, I'm actually doing two Fallout videos in a row. Yesterday's video, I talked about the Fallout TV show and how it has actually caused all 6 Fallout video games to surge in popularity recently. But I have to talk about something else, something that's also kind of related. I promise, for those of you that are new to my channel, I don't just talk about Fallout, I talk about all video games. But this is very interesting. So there is a Fallout mod called Fallout London. It has been in the works for 5 years now. I keep seeing people say 4 years, but from what I can see, development began in 2019. So 5 years, and this is not just your standard mod. You know, like a mod that just changes an aspect of the game. You know, different characters to romance or different drop rates for certain characters. No, this is like an entirely different game. It's almost like how I think of ROM hacks for like old Nintendo games, where it uses the engine of that old game, but it just creates an entirely new game. I didn't think anything like that was really possible for new gen or next gen games. So yeah, a group of about 50 creators called Team FOLON, FOLON. They are behind the development of Fallout London. Like I said, it's been going on for 5 years now. And believe it or not, it was actually supposed to drop on April 23rd. That is just 9 days from now on Tuesday of next week. And it looks like this game has a ton of hype. Obviously, people are hyped about it. People are very excited. And I would say it's got some much deserved hype because it looks great. You can watch their stuff on YouTube. They've dropped a few different trailers showing off the gameplay and different elements. There's going to be like hundreds of quests. The area itself, they're saying, is as big or bigger than, I think, either Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. I'm not sure which Fallout game they were referencing, but it's in Fallout 4's engine, which is to be expected. That is the most recent Fallout game. So yeah, it's supposed to come out 9 days from now. So of course, why am I talking about it right now? And how is it related to this sort of surge in popularity from the show? Well, whether or not it is a direct response of all of this new popularity and interest in Fallout games, or whether Bethesda had this planned all along and they knew all of this hype around their TV show was going to gain their games a lot of attention. I don't know which one is the case here, but either way, they are actually going to drop a huge Fallout 4 update on April 25th. That is just 2 days after the anticipated release date of Fallout London. So very quickly, Team FOLON, or FOLON, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they made a response video to this. This actually just dropped 19 hours ago on YouTube. It is their creator, Dean Carter. He talks a lot about that situation and basically how that new update is going to render their mod basically completely unusable. He talked a lot about the logistics and the details of it. Basically, it sounds like because of this new next-gen mod that Fallout 4 is going to receive on April 25th, it is going to mess with something called the script extender, I believe, which is sort of how Fallout 4 interacts with its mods. It's all techie stuff that's way over my head, but essentially what Dean Carter says is that this is going to render the game, or the mod, completely unplayable. I mean, you would be able to play it for 2 days, but then this update's going to come out, and then you won't be able to play it. So instead of releasing it on April 23rd, unfortunately, the game has been pushed back indefinitely, and they said that they will release it once there's some sort of a fix to this update that allows their whole game mod to work properly with the Fallout 4 engine. And this is very devastating and very frustrating, especially for those 50 people who have poured 5 years into basically making this game for what I believe is going to be for free. And it would be a frustration for them to express, you know, a ton of frustration toward Bethesda, as he did say that they really haven't had any dialogue with Bethesda, but he seems pretty calm, cool, and collected about it, which I respect. He says that a lot of basically their response to this sort of incompatibility with their scripts is out of his control right now. He kind of talked about how there is a separate team, also made up of volunteers that are not getting paid, that can work on fixing this sort of issue with the script, and that it could get patched, you know, as early as day 1, but it could take a month or even a few months for it to be fixed. Or it could never get fixed. I definitely don't think that's going to happen. I think eventually somebody will come out with some sort of a fix. But yeah, to me, it almost didn't sound like it was in Bethesda's control here. I think it's actually in the control of some other modders who control script interaction, I guess. Kind of frustrating, but one notable thing is that Dean Carter basically expressed his not wanting to encourage players to not update their game because, of course, the next-gen update is going to bring a lot of great quality to life improvements, or quality of life, I should say. And so while they could just release it on April 23rd and encourage their fans to not update to the new gen update, he's saying, nope, we want to have this update, so we'll wait it out. We will wait for our game, our mod, to be compatible with this new update. So unfortunately, kind of frustrating. That's basically where they're at right now. This game that has been going on for 5 years now, 5 years of development by people who are not getting paid, and we're just 9 days away, 9 small days away from their game finally being released. All of that has now been put put on an indefinite halt. And as far as when that halt will be lifted, well, there's just a big question mark there. But I want to end on a positive note. Two things. Number one, I definitely think this problem will get resolved. It is just a matter of time. The most frustrating thing really is just not knowing when it'll get resolved. But I really feel like it will get resolved, and I don't think it's going to take a year or 5 years. I'm sure it'll happen, by this summer or even late spring. But the second point I want to end on is just to recognize how awesome, how cool that it really is that somebody was able to make a full game mod out of a game from 2016. Okay, just kidding, 2015. Well, I remember playing it in 2016. But a game from 2015, I cannot believe that they're able to make something like this. It's not an old game. It's not running on an engine from the 90s. This is a full-fledged, arguably new generation game, all made by modders. That is cool. I love mods. I love quote-unquote full game ROM hacks, and I really feel like it doesn't get any better than this. So Fallout London, it looks fantastic. Look it up, check it out. It's only a matter of time before it releases. And if we get full modded games that are just hacks of already existing games that look this great and have this much depth to it, I cannot imagine what the future holds for modded games.